coaches use a different tool for every task in their business. So no wonder you're overwhelmed. Hey, coach, and welcome back to the Backend Blueprint for Coaches, the podcast where we untangle the tech, simplify your systems, and help you build a business backend that's calm, automated, and profitable. I'm your host, Sha-day Johnson, the tech coach and strategist for coaches like you, so you're in the right place. This week, I just wasn't feeling the creative spark that I usually have. And for a minute, I thought about just skipping recording altogether. But then I remembered this is one of my non-negotiables. So showing up for you with a new episode every single week, even when it's not perfect, even when I'm not inspired, even when life is lifing. But side note, life is actually pretty good right now. I have a major personal update. My boyfriend decided to propose to me, and we are officially engaged. Wow. I haven't even posted about it online yet. Of course, I've been telling people, in real life, I've been calling, texting people. So you are getting the exclusive. And this past weekend, we traveled to visit some friends and family and celebrated. So I'm just on cloud nine right now. And instead of forcing something brand new, because I really don't like the feeling I get when I do that, I decided to just dig into my content archives and I found a real gem. It's a section from one of my old webinars that breaks down my custom behind the scenes tech framework. It's the exact one that I recommend to coaches who are tired of juggling a million tools and want to learn how to simplify so they can get more clients and actually have the time to focus on what they do best, coaching. It is so good. I'm actually wondering, Sade, why did you ever even stop running this webinar? I can't even remember the reason why. It was probably me just overthinking, knowing me. But it's so good. I decided, let's go ahead and get this added to my Asana list to update it a little bit and get it back running again ASAP. So you're getting, I don't know if it's a sneak peek or just you're getting an inside look to my actual process here, apparently. And so if you see that this webinar is running in the future, just know you've heard a little part of it, but you didn't hear the whole thing. So if you see it, just sign up for it so you get all of the goodness. It's packed with a lot of value, and I'm really hoping that it's exactly what you need to hear to get your back end together this week. Now, if you've ever felt like skipping a post or skipping a podcast, a video, just let this be your reminder. You don't always need to create from scratch. What you've already made may be exactly what your audience is searching for. Also, a quick reminder that the price of the Backend Blueprint Hub for coaches is going up on August 5th. So if you've been on the fence, now's the time to jump in before the monthly rate increases. I will leave that link for you in the show notes. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this framework. Here is the truth. Not being tech savvy is no longer a valid excuse for not getting clients. Maybe tech isn't quite your forte, but having simple systems in place will simplify everything. You don't have to wait to grow more, quote unquote, before setting up the tech in your business. Instead, I recommend you save yourself headaches and establish your systems now, regardless of the stage of your business. The number one thing that I've found that is keeping coaches stuck while trying to create effective systems in their business is that they are using a tool they just simply don't understand. And this creates barriers, frustration, and ultimately no clients. Let's go ahead and get into part one, which is my behind the scenes tech framework for getting clients. Now, here is the problem that I've noticed. Coaches use a different tool for every task in their business. There's one tool for scheduling, there's another tool for creating an invoice, and then yet another tool for getting their contract signed. So no wonder you're overwhelmed. Now you're looking for a better way to sign new coaching clients and to automate your onboarding process. And you're in the right place for that. You also want a back-end office that's streamlined and feels like a well-oiled machine. So I am so excited to share this system with you. This is my behind the scenes tech framework. We're going to be filling in these 5 bubbles. The first one is a calendar scheduler. This is essential. These 5 bubbles are basically going to be the essential pieces of tech that you want to have in your business in order to start onboarding clients, getting paid, working with leads, all of that. So the first thing I recommend is a calendar scheduler. And this is because, first of all, when you're talking to someone, maybe let's say in your Facebook DMs or Instagram DMs, and let's say they've reached out to you because they see you promoting your services and they're like, oh, how do I work with you? The last thing you want to do is go back and forth with, oh, well, I want to get you on a call. What time are you available? What time zone are you in? All of that, because it's a lot of back and forth and then it creates a lot of friction, which eventually could maybe lead to no client. So one way to step this up is to sign up for a calendar scheduler so that when someone reaches out to you, you can say, hey, here's the link to my calendar to book a call with me. And we can see if we're the right fit for working with each other. So having a calendar scheduler is going to just reduce all of that back and forth. It's going to reduce you accidentally double booking yourself. And it's also going to seem super professional. So the next piece of this behind the scenes tech framework is a payment processor. Of course, you definitely have to have a way to get paid, because if not, you just have a really expensive hobby. So get a payment processor. Top ones here in the US are PayPal and Stripe. So those are the ones that I recommend. Next in our framework is a contract signer. I'm not a lawyer. However, I don't think you should be working with any clients without getting a contract signed. So important to make sure those boundaries and expectations are set so that you and your client know exactly what to expect from each other. And gone are the days when, people are signing contracts in person. I mean, obviously some contracts are signed in person, but with an online coaching business, you definitely want to have a way to get your contract electronically signed. Next, we have video platform. So, being that you have an online business and being that most people these days know how to get on a video call, you definitely want to have a video platform like Zoom to go ahead and meet with your clients virtually, unless, of course, you are doing in-person VIP days or in-person retreats or things like that. But for those, weekly coaching sessions, a video platform like Zoom is going to be perfect to get you started. And the last part of this framework is a CRM, which stands for a Customer Relationship Manager. And this is just a fancy way of saying you want to be using some sort of tool or software to manage your clients. So right now you might be using just a spiral notebook, or you might have stepped it up and started using an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet, which, we all got to start somewhere, but eventually you want to be using a CRM because these CRM tools are designed to house all of your client information as well as keep track of things like how many sessions do they have left? How much money do they still owe? Have they actually signed their contract? When was their last session? Things like that. So it's just a very easy way to see everything digitally versus having to, flip through a bunch of pages or have complicated spreadsheets. Although I am a spreadsheet queen, I will admit that I do love a good spreadsheet. Now, part two is all about how to simplify and use fewer tools. Because now that we have this framework, the basics that you need, these 5 pieces, that's a lot of tools, but I'm going to show you how you can simplify it and not necessarily have to have 5. So meet Coach Ava. Coach Ava is a business coach and she has 2 current offers. The first is a free clarity call. This is like her discovery call. It's basically a sales call. It's where she gets clients on Zoom to see if they are a good fit for her coaching program. And her coaching program is a 12-week one-on-one coaching package. So here is Ava's current tech setup, which may look a lot like yours. She's using Calendly to book calls. She's using Wave apps for creating invoices and accepting payment. She's using DocuSign for getting her contracts electronically signed. She's using Zoom to meet with clients. And then she's using a spiral notebook to keep up with her client notes. Now, let's compare Ava's current tech setup with my behind the scenes tech framework that we just went over. So she does have a calendar scheduler. She's using Calendly. She does have a payment processor, which is the Wave apps. She has a contract signer, which is DocuSign, a video platform, Zoom, and she has a CRM. It's a manual one, it's paper, but she still technically has one. So she has met all of the criteria for this framework. Now, here is how to simplify and streamline your tools so that way you can save yourself a lot of time and some headaches. To simplify your coaching tech, you're going to use my favorite tool for coaches, which is Paperbell. Paperbell is an all-in-one tool that handles payments, scheduling, contract signing, and client management for your coaching business. Now, let's take a look at this framework again and see how Paperbell fits in. So, as you can see, the top 3 pieces or the top 3 tools now are replaced by Paperbell. So Coach Ava no longer needs to use Calendly as her calendar scheduler because Paperbell has a scheduling feature. She no longer needs to use DocuSign to get contract signs because Paperbell has a built-in electronic contract signer. And she no longer needs to use her Spiral notebook as her CRM because Paperbell houses all of your client information and can tell you all the details about how you've been working together. So we've just crossed out 3 tools and combined them all to be with Paperbell. Now, the video platform still needs to be Zoom because Zoom does integrate with Paperbell. And then for your payment processor, you need to sign up for either PayPal or Stripe. And when you set up your package inside of Paperbell, your customer is going to be able to make a payment with their credit card, and it's going to be paid via PayPal or Stripe. And guess what that means? That means you no longer ever have to create an invoice. So Coach Ava can get rid of Wave apps because she no longer needs to create invoices. All of your payments with Paperbell and creating your packages with Paperbell, all of those payments can just be through entering their credit card number. No invoice needed, which I think is amazing. Now, I wanted to bring up 2 additional tools that you might want to consider using. I like to consider this like my extended framework because the teal boxes here, the 5 tools that we just went over, those are essential for getting your business automated, streamlined, up and running, all of that. However, as your business grows, you may want to consider adding in email marketing. And so that's why I have these pink boxes over here. The first one is for an email service provider. I personally love ConvertKit for coaches. It's simple to use and extremely efficient. And then for project management, I personally love Asana. Asana is a tool I use literally every single day. I use it for business and personal tasks. And so it's just how I keep track of everything that I have going on. So I always like to include those two um, extra pink boxes because I tend to get a lot of questions about like, well, what about building my email list and things like that. So those are my recommendations there. Now, here's what you'll accomplish with this new system. You're going to be reducing the number of tools that you use from 5 to 3. You will no longer have to create invoices. There's not going to be any more back and forth with contract signing because it's going to be handled electronically. And now you're going to have one digital hub for your client notes. I mean, amazing, right? All right, coach, I hope that gave you a fresh perspective on how simple your backend can really be when you've got the right tech in place. And I hope it reminded you that you don't need to do it all from scratch. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just reuse what already works. And technically, that's not being lazy, that's just being real smart. If you're ready to actually implement this framework and build the back end that supports your clients, supports more income and more freedom, come join us inside the Backend Blueprint Hub for coaches. You'll get immediate access to my Paper Bell Roadmap mini course and everything you need to simplify your systems, get fully set up, and stop duct taping tech together. And final reminder, the membership price is going up on August 5th to $29. So now is your moment to lock in the current low monthly founders rate of $7. The link is in the show notes, or just head to shadayjohnson.com/BBH, back in Blueprint Hub, and join us today. If you found value in today's episode or had any aha moments, I'd love if you would subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast app. It helps more coaches to find this show. And if you could take a screenshot of you listening to this episode and post your thoughts inside the Automated and Abundant Coaches Facebook group, I would love to hear what clicks for you. Remember, this tech thing gets to be easy. Your coaching business deserves systems that work for you, not the other way around. So until next time, keep simplifying, automating, and thriving. You got this. Bye.